and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. First is a daily reading, second is a discussion on the reading followed by journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. Thanks for being here for another day of Reparenting Daily. For all those joining in for the first time, if you can go ahead and give us a like, share, subscribe, it would really help us to get some more engagement and to get some 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify podcast, so we can go ahead and keep the word spreading about this podcast and hopefully continue to reach and help as many people as possible along their reparenting journey. That's one way to support the podcast, of course. Another announcement is that we also have a Patreon community where we meet 3 times a week on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Sunday is a group meditation, Tuesday is a book club meeting, and Thursday is an open topic discussion where we communicate. You can gain access to these group meetings and so much more by joining the Patreon community. Just go to the website, Reparenting Daily, and check out the community tab. There you'll find all the details about what's actually offered. We also have a WhatsApp group and much more to look forward to that will really help you along with your healing journey. And for the last announcement, I'd like to say that we are just releasing our first 2 books now at Reparenting Daily. So you can go to the website, check out the bookstore tab, and at the top, you will see our first 2 official Reparenting Daily books. So I'm so excited to tell you about those, guys. So the first is Reparenting Daily Journal. This is a daily journal that corresponds to the podcast and will be aligned with all of the episodes starting from the 1st of January. That means that each month has a certain theme, and each week is a sub-theme that corresponds to the theme of the month. So if you're really interested in following along with this project, we're going to be stepping things up. Now we're almost half or just over half the way through the year now. So for the second year of the podcast, we're going to be taking it up to a different level, doing some different things to make it more actually interactive and engaging. So I'm really looking forward to that. You can find that on Amazon also if you just search Reparenting Daily Journal. And the second book is a really interesting one that's close to my heart. I've always been a writer since I was younger, and I like to write stories. I also enjoy research and writing research papers. I just really enjoy writing. And so I've created a book which is called Fairy Tales for Reparenting. And these are a collection of stories. And basically, this is volume 1. I'm going to make other volumes as well. But they're a collection of fairy tales that are based on stories that can provide hope and inspiration, encouragement. It's really meant as a way to help you be able to connect with your inner child. So it's a really creative exercise, really for myself to think through these, to have some fun with my imagination. But also reading them is really a good way to connect to your inner child, to get to some of those tender emotions, to do something a bit silly or childlike, You can sit there and, take your teddy bear, if you have one, from the practices that some people say when you're reparenting your inner child. This is something that you can also do to support that journey. It's fun. There are happy stories that will just leave you hopeful and inspired. So let me know what you think of those. You can find both of those on the website, and also check out the Amazon store. They are available on ebook as well as hardback and paperback. And the version volume 2 will be dropping sometime soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be in December or either January, but I'll be sure to let you know. Just working on some final edits there, but hopefully to have that around the corner. So without further ado, let's get started on the daily. Today's reading is from the Ching. We are on number 22, which is grace. Inside, the strength of simplicity and self-knowledge. Outside, the beauty of acceptance and gentleness. This hexagram encourages you to cultivate the quality of grace in your relationships and in your general way of being. In this way, you gain a power greater than any other to open a way through obstructions in your dealings with others. Good fortune is yours if you concentrate on bringing more grace to your thoughts and actions now. It is human nature to want to use forceful ways to try to get what we want from others and from life. Our egos encourage us to act aggressively, to speak boldly, to intimidate others, to buffalo our way through difficult situations. This false power can be momentarily satisfying to our ego, and temporary victories can be won in this way. But genuine power and lasting progress come from a different kind of strength altogether. They come from the inner strength, which is characterized by a steadfast devotion to the principles of humility, simplicity, and equanimity, and acceptance. By gradually letting go of vain, bullying energy of the ego and accepting the quiet grace of the higher power, one acquires the substance that makes ongoing good fortune a possibility. This is a time to relinquish self-important maneuvers. Instead, return to stillness and contemplate the inherent wisdom of the principle of the sage. By practicing quiet strength within and gentle acceptance without, you acquire a grace that dissolves all barriers to progress. Line 1. In the beginning, one must walk slowly and carefully. Do not assume that you know the answers or need to force a solution. Remain modest and allow the universe and the unknown to guide you. Second line. Concern yourself not with the form of things, but with their content. Cut through the false appearances to determine whether your own strength or that of another is genuine or contrived. Third line. The situation appears positive. Do not relax into arrogance or indolence. Persevere in quiet correctness, and good fortune is obtained. Fourth line. There is a temptation to rely on false brilliance, advantage, or force. A return to modesty and innocence prevents misfortune. Fifth line. Withdraw from the desires of your ego for luxury and recognition. Sincerity and simplicity are inevitably rewarded by the sage. And sixth line. By discarding the use of false power, one gains a view of the path to true power. In quiet acceptance, there are a grace and a strength that overcome all else. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Welcome back. Applying the concept of grace and I Ching speaks to the power of elegance, beauty, and harmony, encouraging us to cultivate these qualities not only in our outer actions, but also in our inner lives. In reparenting, grace reminds us to approach ourselves with kindness and gentleness, embracing self-acceptance and inner beauty, even in the face of past pain and imperfection. Just as grace in nature involves patience and appreciation for gradual growth, grace in reparenting is about seeing ourselves with compassion, learning to nurture our self-worth in our words, thoughts, and actions. Grace invites us to focus on self-care and our environment, bringing small moments of beauty and calm into our lives to create an atmosphere of inner peace. By surrounding ourselves with positive influences and practicing inner grace, we transform our inner world. In reparenting, we become a tool for owning our journey, a gentle reminder to cherish our progress without harsh judgment. Some journal prompts for today. Number 1, cultivate inner grace. Reflect on a moment in your reparenting journey where you were hard on yourself. How could you bring more grace into that memory or situation? Write about one way you can practice self-compassion this week, allowing yourself grace as you navigate challenges. Number 2, creating beauty in everyday life. Think about a small change you can make to your daily routine to introduce beauty, calm, or inspiration. Whether it's creating a peaceful morning routine, decorating a space you love, or practice mindful breathing. How can these small acts of grace impact your self-image or mood? Reflect on what beauty means to you and how it can support your healing. And third, embrace imperfections with grace. Describe a part of yourself or your past that you struggle to accept. How might showing grace to that part of yourself change your perspective? List 3 ways you can approach yourself with grace in difficult moments. And write about how this mindset can help you develop self-compassion. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself and be well. And now, let us move on to the final section, the meditation. This is an unguided meditation. I will simply provide some music and you can take some time to relax. Please feel free to choose a location and a place where you feel safe and where you can be undisturbed for the next 10 minutes. You can choose to be sitting down, standing, as you like, wherever you are most comfortable. Thank you for being here and enjoy the meditation.